Some more thirsty Thursday energy. I feel like it's Friday energy. The sun has gone down. It's getting creepy. It's getting dark and dingy. What's up, everyone? I am the hostess with the mostest, the High Priestess Phoenix. I am your spiritual healer. Why do I keep putting these cards away, man? For real. Healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, lightworker, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru, evangelist, North American symbol. I used some of these yesterday in my blend. I didn't tell you that I did that, but I did. I am your messenger god, first child of God, the divine feminine in the female form. I am the dark goddess that rules over the mind and the emotions, the goddess of the moon, the Lilith reincarnated. In order to keep up with me, you had to see what I posted on my community page, at least today's live videos, and anything in my shorts. What am I looking for? The cards I had earlier that I put away. We were going to talk about, well, we were in the Mama Bridge, and Uzili. Hey, did you see what Billie Eilish did? I posted that. So we pulled out the card of Uzili, and she was talking about greedy people and how to, to be out there and be generous. Then we pulled out Mama Bridge, and she was talking about charity work. All of a sudden, I saw in the middle of the day, Billie Eilish called out billionaires and then donated 11 point fucking something million dollars of her own money for, the food thing that's going on right now.
Oh yeah, everyone's doing that.
Which, first off, that's some bullshit on the government's part, because they're going to come in, guys. They're really going to come in. And that's what my worker said, is they're going to retrograde that shit. But at the same time, it's like we depend on, It's supposed to be the people, we the people, that come in. And we're not, I just thought it was a fucking unbelievable, beautiful act of God's works. You know what I mean? You could call her the bad guy. But I think that was amazing. She called everyone out, and that's what it said in the cards, is lead by example. You can't force anyone. You got to show them how it's done. And in the sense of, it's just money to her. She's got plenty, and she believes in her creativity where she can make more. She ain't a money greedy whore. Amen. I love her. Anyways, what's up, everyone? Yeah, that came out in our cards earlier. And then when we went to the Mama Bridge, I was like, well, that's a stage of the Dark Night of the Soul, which happens to be the stage of hell. Who am I? The goddess of hell. But this stage that's portrayed in the book, I was not that incarnation of hell. I was the first incarnation of hell. This was a later version. I was living a different life while she was down there playing, my role. God places these roles, bro. And it's like, before you sign the soul contracts, and that goes back to last night, videos, when we talked about soul contracts, you decide what you want to be. I'm going to be a fucking astronaut. I'm going to be this. I'm going to be that. I had to be me. I had to be me. And that is like the hardest thing to be. Just to be me. It was kind of funny. I also posted that. I went up to the gas station right now, and there was a dude, and he was totally tripped out. He was totally tripped out by me, obviously. And I told him who I was and what I did, and da-da-da-da. He's like, you're a witch. I was like, yeah, I'm the witch. I was like, this is the time of season where a little girl wants to be me. And I was like, but I teach the Christ consciousness. So, in essence, how do you kill a witch that's covered by the blood of Christ? And he's like, well, why pick one? Or he's like, why do that? And I was like, well, because they're not separate. It's all the same power. He's like, whoa. And he was sitting there, he's like, your hair is really beautiful. I was like, I know, isn't it though? My hair is so beautiful. Even I noticed that. And then we just went into it, and then he looked deeper. He's like, you don't need to wear all that makeup. And I started laughing. I was like, it's Halloween, but I'm considering wearing all this makeup on a regular basis. It was pretty funny. I had to be there. And it's just that. It's like, oh, people love me until they know what I do. They think it's so cool until I get to this part, which is what? Shadow work. I specialize in shadow work. It's great to be a spiritualist, but I'm one of a kind. What do? I take you through the dark night of your soul. I take you into hell. Really? Yes. But I teach you how to get to God through there. And otherwise, unless you can find God on this earth, nobody has yet, go for it that way. Really? It's called enlightenment, but it's pretty dark in there. You have to go through the dark to find the light. That's how it works around here. So, welcome to the Dark Night of the Soul. Typically starts tomorrow, but I told you tomorrow is today, and Time isn't even real. Ooh, Sheila and a gig, and our sexual freaking nature is coming. Hey, bro, even if I didn't want to believe it, the energy is ripe. Why does he say that? Because if you look up Sagittarius Tarot, every single one of them says that somebody's coming in. They're coming in. Circle the block. It doesn't feel good to see all these messages during Mercury retrograde, I just want to say. You want to see this shit on some other day. But, you know, in the essence of, as Morgan says, it's cold outside. I'm bored. I need some bodily. Just kidding. Just kidding. Let me take you into the pits of hell with this Hel. Who's this Hel? This is Loki's daughter. Loki had one daughter. Okay, hold on. Hey, move it or lose it. Realistically, yeah, I can do something more about this. I'm being the asshole, not that. But we need that. Why? Alright, so what's this story? Loki had some funny kids. Just like me. He was cursed. So he had, a dog, a big snake, and Hel. Let me explain her story. And that's really what it is. Did I get casted into the pits of hell? No. They said Lucifer did. What do you mean? What do you mean? This is just the dark place. Let me explain. Let me get my book out. Dun, 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 dun. This is basically my Bible. I have everybody else's, but this one's mine. Reclaim Your Dark Goddess by Flavia K. Peters. The Alchemy of Transformation. We are invocating Hel. Let me start with her whole story before we get into all that bullshit. You'll need a black obsidian, an onyx, a black agate, or what am I saying? A jet? Something? I don't know. We'll get to it. Let's talk about it. Okay. I don't want to read the whole fucking story. Alright, let's just start here. No, fuck. They want me to read. Dude, if I read all this, it's just too much, bro. Fine, we'll start here. Hel's reputation has been greatly perverted over the years and used as a sacred tactic to frighten the masses into religious submission. The concept of Hel was created by those in authority in new formed Christian church as an afterlife located in which evil souls were subjugated after death to eternal suffering and torturous punishment. Stop there. This is exactly what happened. It was a couple Sundays ago, or some day ago, I realized that the Jewish rabbis had created this whole definition of evil. They created the devil, they created Hel in their teachings. These were the same men that wrote the Bible, bitches. There's no such thing. I mean, in essence, we're here. Hel is here on earth. Let me explain. It's just a conscious level of placement. Really? Yeah. Like, But that's when you have to understand, if you don't know Jesus' message, then none of this makes sense. Because Jesus' message, it speaks of our Lord, that's all forgiving. If you don't accept the message that you're forgiven, then your alternative is you go to hell. That's what they taught you, motherfuckers. They forced you to have to turn to Jesus. And there's people like fucking Wolfman that's like, I don't need no savior. Hey, bro. I need a savior. I'd be screaming for him like, help me, Jesus. I need a savior. That's so prideful to say that you don't need help. I was like you. Let's move on. Christian church after an afterlife located in where evil souls were subjugated, blah, blah, blah. After death to eternal suffering and torturous punishment, and which makes Hel one of the most misinterpreted and misunderstood goddesses in history. She rules over the realm of the same name, but don't mistake it for one of fire and brimstone. It's depicted in Christian teachings, for her underworld is the void of any warmth. And I've described the nothing quite well. Instead, the poor souls who journeyed across the icy lands to her lair could expect an eternity of frigid cold death and torture. Hell's realm was based on the Judeo-Christian place in which, upon death, sinners are banished to and tortured for an eternity. However, unlike Judeo-Christian concept of hell, Helheim also served as a shelter and a gathering place of souls to be incarnated. It's the resting place. So that's where I tried to explain, like, I was trying to ask Mr. Plum, because his Christian teaching says that before, the final, the second coming of Christ, the gates are open, blah, blah, blah. In their teachings, it says that they go to rest in Abraham's bosom. Which is in his heart, in his chest, whatever. I don't know exactly what the fuck that means, but there's a place, a resting place, before incarnation. So if you didn't get it right, you could just keep coming back to get it right. Welcome to reincarnation. What the fuck am I doing here? What the fuck are you doing here? Get it right. Get it tight. Right. Anyways. For her magical advantage point of the underworld, Hel watches over those who die peacefully of old age, illness, and cares for both children and women who died in childbirth. She guides those souls who do not choose to die in battle, for they go to the feast of Valara. I can't say it. Through the process of death and rebirth. Like many other dark goddesses in history, Hel has been demonized, but who she is it justified? Hel is the daughter of the Norse trickster god Loki and Abrabada, the goddess, and her siblings were Fenrir, the wolf, and the Midgard serpent. And we talked about that. Whose lies at the bottom of the ocean, wrapped around the world, holding it together with its tail in its mouth. Hel grew up in the land of the giants until Odin, the king and ruler, decided she should live with the gods in Asgard, for this was where her father Loki hailed from. Odin is one of the first of the Aesir gods, and was born of the primordial giants of Jotun. He was the father of many, including Loki and his brother Thor, the god of thunder. However, when Hel arrived, her grim features did not please the other gods. And this is what came to me earlier. I laughed so fucking hard in my car, and this is where I got out. And I had to get out right at the time. I still have a full cigarette lit. My spirit's like, get out of the car. I was laughing so hard, I was like, get out of the car. And with my cigarette, I get out, and then I'm sitting there, and there's fucking Diana. Fucking swearing. She's yelling at her kids. She's having a bad day. I could feel it. But I was listening to some DMX, so I didn't really care. But I felt it. Anyways, I'm sitting there, and I'm looking at I catch a glimpse of my makeup in the mirror. And I was like, if I went to job interviews like this, I would get told no every fucking time. Like, I could just walk around with discrimination fucking lawsuits with everyone. Nobody would ever hire me if I went to fucking works, if I went to a job interview with this makeup on. They would never allow me to look like this at their positions. They would never. No, it's not happening. They would never allow me to walk in there. They would find it disgraceful. They would find it disrespectful that I had the nerve to come in without beautiful makeup and without beautiful hair and with blah 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 blah. Watch me. If I ever wanted to not get a job, go to college, go on a date, just watch me put this makeup on and watch me be disgusting or be unpleasing to the world. Discrimination, bro. Now, this guy liked it, and he's like, you shouldn't wear all that makeup. I mean, come on, dude. Do you really think I wear this all the time? So then I was sitting in my car smoking my weed, and I saw a picture. I was like, imagine going to a job interview. You'll never get a job looking like that. I was like, that'll be my excuse for the rest of my life. They won't hire me because of how I look. It's my skin. Why don't you change your makeup? Why don't you change your face? Why does makeup have to make me look prettier? I feel like I look good. It's pouring out my age. Really? Yeah, I purposely put the black into my creases, and it looks good. Yeah, that's what I look like. I look dead. I'm fully alive, but I look dead. What's the problem here? And that's what happens. She looks like, look at her makeup. Look it. She's not too pretty. Okay. did it on purpose. And they don't like it. Well, I can get away with it right now. But if I wear this at Christmas, if I wear it to a job interview, are they going to let me ring the bell at their job? Can I work at Walmart looking like this? Is there anywhere that I could get a job? Will they let me work at a restaurant with makeup like this? Will they let me work anywhere with makeup like this in America? But this is who I am, and I like it. And I'm not allowed to be like this. What? What is wrong with my makeup? Totally. I told you, Harley Quinn. If I would have worn makeup in Oklahoma, this is what I would have looked like. All that sweat and shit. Oh my God. Pasty and, oh God. Wiping my face. Oh man. Let me wipe my eyebrows right now. Because I'm sweating at work. I could probably get a job at Amazon like this. They don't do no real shit. I wonder, I should try. Push the limits. I'm not trying to be pleasing, bro. This is very unpleasing. Let me tell you the story. However, when Hel arrived, her grim features did not please the other gods, and they rallied for her to be cast out of Asgard. And that's it. Let me move on your block. There's a fucking witch. We gotta get rid of her. There's a witch. Did you see she put up a pinnacle? Do you see her? She's over there fucking... She's got a gay flag. Do you see her? She's doing shit in the middle of the night. Do you see her? She's always burning sages, and she's always having fires, and she's always dancing, and she's always doing weird shit. We've got to get rid of her. We've got to get rid of her. We've got to get rid of her. Why? What am I doing? Praising God. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. I just don't do it like you, and I definitely do it better than you on a Sunday. I do it better than you every day. Anyways, they rallied to cast her out of Asgard. Ashamed, Hel seized the chance to be hidden away, and she became the goddess of of death, where Odin gave her Niflheim, one of the 9 worlds to rule over. He was being a great grandfather. He felt bad for her. She's like, I just want to run away. He's like, I have a place where nobody goes, where you can go. I found that place on my own as Lilith, right? God kept bringing me back, put me out there. That goes back to Medusa, all beautiful and then turned into that. Do you understand what that can do to a person? She became the monster not because of turned into it, but to having to live as it. Who's she? I'm seeing this beautiful girl. I told this story a couple weeks ago, maybe a month or so. I can't remember her name. God, she was so beautiful. She was Mexican, but she had like these beautiful like Indian look to her, like the Hindu Indians. She had this long, beautiful face. She was just gorgeous, bro. And she was just one of the many girls that Joey brought around. She was beautiful.
Who's Joey?
It was a long story. It was like 15. It was the trap house and shit. And he had lots of girls. And he brought this girl. And she was so beautiful. And his fucking dog, Yeska, attacked her and bit her in the face. And then she had this scar, bro, that ran from like the middle of her forehead all the way down her... It ran down her nose into her cheek. She was no less beautiful, but it was just like how to get it. You know what I mean? It's like, you just take it all away. One day we won't be. Like, I look at myself and I can see these pictures and I still see. You can still see me, but I'm old now. I haven't lost it, but it's like, you know, you just kind of, it just, beauty is, it becomes different to you. Or you feel that you've lost it because you don't find the beauty in aging. This is a good one to look at because we were talking about such surface level things, and it's like, you know what I mean? Like, I can go in there and put on my face and be like 20 years old and beautiful, but what if I just wore this? This isn't beautiful? Who decides what is beautiful? Because right now, it's the coolest to have crazy makeup like this. The better the makeup, the darker, the more dingy, the cooler you look. But only during a season. You can't be like that all the time. That's not fair. And if I did the goth look, I'd have to do the goth look with a pretty look. It couldn't be messy. It has to be pretty. It couldn't be messy. You can't be messy. It's the next level of accepting what God made you. He made me all kinds of messy. Going back to Callie, you think I didn't sit there with all of my arms twisting and turning like a fucking snake, wondering why I wasn't like them? No, not by that time. But in the essence, it's like, well, you think I wasn't loved with all my extra arms? I had more arms to love you with. I could hug you and fight off a war at the same time. And then it was, as the Morgan, I could be whatever you wanted. I could shape shift into whatever you wanted. Right now, I'm in my crone, and I'm okay with that. It's the crone season. I'm about to be 43. Let summertime come, I'll be messing around looking in my 20s again. But for right now, it's okay to be what you are. In Norse mythology, the 9 worlds are Niflheim, I don't want to tell you all of them. They're so hard to pronounce because they have all kinds of weird stuff. And then hers. They are held in the branches of the root of the world tree called Yggdrasil, known as the House of Mist. Hel became the ruler of the underworld and welcomed all souls who did not die at a warrior's death. So in the essence, if you had a great life, you ascended, that's where it is. Ascending souls go to a different place. There's different levels of heaven, just as there's different levels of hells. And Dante describes that, and then, you can learn that through the Tree of Life. In times of plague and other disasters, she would ride her white, 3-legged hell horse, searching for lost souls to gather for her kingdom. And that's it, you know what I mean? The ones that didn't make it to the light, but didn't, haven't reincarnated. That's all that means. They haven't took on their next assignment. I waited, my last incarnation was in the 1700s. I wasn't born until 1982. So, it took a while. I was sitting around, waiting around, messing around, fucking around for quite some time. Time isn't irrelevant, though, up there. It's not. You take a breath and it's alright. The time has come. On her return to her palace, which is named whatever, she waited upon 2 servants called so-and-so and so-and-so, who never appeared to actually move. They served her meals in a dish named Hunger with a knife named Famine. She ate hunger with a knife named Famine. Here she enjoyed entertaining dead in a weird macabre of ways, retiring to her bed, which was named Sickness. That's me, going back to my sickness. In return for her new position, Hel gifted Odin 2 ravens named Hugin and Munin, thought and memory. For the power of thought creates and memory keeps that creation alive. And that's where it is. I have an idea. But again, I told you, memories keep that alive. I, with my disassociated amnesia and just my ability to close the chapters, I forget. Really? Memories is what keeps you alive. That out of sight, out of mind is for real. For real? For reals. And then he gave her, thought and memory, blah, blah, blah. The 2 ravens flew across the 9 worlds, returned, and reported back to Odin all the things they saw and learned throughout the kingdoms. And that's why you'll always see me with the crows. Yep, lots of downloads. It might come from them. I don't know where it comes from. I'll just be seeing the shit in my face. Same as him. Let's see. Hel isn't entirely sinister, for she's capable of showing a glimpse of compassion and demonstrated in the tale. Baldur was born of Odin and Frigg, the goddess of love, and was loved and admired by all the gods and by mortals. He was handsome and cheerful and was shined upon brightly. Baldur began to have dreams of death, and because he was no warrior, his soul would be sent to Helheim to reside with Hel for an eternity when he died. Odin mounted his horse and rode straight to the underworld to consult the sorceress. You know what they don't tell you? Loki killed Baldur. Her father killed him. Yeah, he's a bastard. It's a whole long story. Odin mounted his horse and rode straight down to the underworld to consult the seeress for the wisdom and fortunate matter. He arrived in disguise to find that among the misty cold of the halls were decked out a grand door for the feast in the honor of the newest resident to arrive. The seeress was very moved about Baldur's meeting his doom. Sad and sorrowed, Odin returned to Asgard to report his findings. His wife Frigg was also distraught at the harm that would befall her son. that she went out and sought every being, living or otherwise, in the cosmos to obtain an oath not to harm him. All agreed, apart from mistletoe. Upon hearing this, Loki, because of mischief and troublemaking, went out of his way to find some mistletoe and make a spear of it. It's a whole long story. When he returned, he found his fellow gods, blah, 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 blah. It's a long-ass story. He pleaded with Hel for his brother's release and told how all living things, including the gods, missed him and nearly felt his absence. Hel listened and then declared that if it was so, she would send him back, but only and the whole cosmos wept for him. If there was even one being who refused to weep, she would keep him. He took the message. Let's see. To no one's surprise, Toke was Loki in disguise, and he acted and he commanded Baldur to an eternity of freezing darkness, blah, blah, blah. Alright, so anyways, that's the whole story. She wasn't nothing. She was just there. Alright, so let's talk about reasons for working with Hel. She insists you in coming out of a place of denial and isolation. When you're in denial, you think it protects you from unjust condemnation, and you just don't want to look bad to others as their opinions count for some reason. Quite often, people don't admit to themselves that they have a problem at all, but denial is the first barrier to recovery. I'll be calling you out, and the first thing that comes out is denial. Suppressing intense emotions can be dangerous, especially if you have hardwired your emotions to help you survive. Throttling emotions is not good for mental or physical health. You may find yourself turning to addictive substances and behaviors to avoid your feelings and drown out your thoughts. Alright, so where are you? In hell. Are you not doing this? Are you not doing this? You're avoiding life and doing the things they say are sinful? Hey, open that door for him. From alcohol use, drug use, prescriptions or otherwise, to hours of screen time, including on social media, there's a multitude of ways you can avoid having to face up to your feelings and the situation you're in. You do everything not to face it, bro. So you're constantly running from you. It's inside of you, not outside of you. It's scary. As I see this, I'm seeing the Murdoch murders. That guy had so many secrets. His secrets had secrets. Yeah, that's what Tony Stark said. He's like, he's a super spy. His secrets have secrets. Yeah, it's like, dude, the truth shall set you free. There's so much freedom in telling the truth. It's so painful up until the moment that it comes out, but then it's out and it's so freeing, bro. It's like, all right, you can't take it back. And after that, you just want to pour more of it out because now it's out. It took so long to push it out. It's like a birthing, bro. It's birthing. There's no way it's like taking a shit, because that has to come out. We're talking birthing, bro. Like, if they don't cut this out, like if you don't push this out, you're gonna have to cut this out of you. Your lies, your secrets, your denials, what you've seen, dude. You're holding it in. There's an inner child that still has those fucking images you're still an inner child looking at these situations, and that image is still, they're running, dude. I know. I've spent 3 years in the dark night of the soul in there, guys. I know what's in there. I know what's in your thoughts. Not exactly. I don't know your experiences, but I know what happens when you see the image. I know you see it from your inner child's perspective, and I know the feelings that rush through your body based on an image. That's how I get memories, bro. They're fucking painful as fuck. I'm stuck in an image of what you call as a memory, but I don't remember it. It's just an image of something that happened in my past. And in this image, I am stuck in the fear, the pain, the shame, the regret, the embarrassment, the horror, the terror, the everything. It just comes over me with one image. I know the thoughts you're running from, and I know why you're running from them, because of those feelings. I'm telling you, there's nowhere to run but to sit there and let this kill you. It's called the death. It will transform you. and you will be reborn, and this image will no longer haunt you. That's shadow work. That's what I teach over here. One thought at a time, one feeling at a time, for the rest of time, as much time as I can give you. Everyone, because they all have it. It doesn't matter what the image is. And that's what's crazy, is most of us have seen so many of the same things. We've felt it, we've seen it. It lies dormant inside of all of us, making us all scared. We're all still scared of it. It's in the dark. We all have the same boogeymans, which is nothing more than us as a child going through something. And not even a child, dude. It goes all the way through your life. You know what I mean? Your 20s, your 30s, however old you are, you can look back at these mortifying moments that you just, oh God, I don't want to accept that I ever was that person, or that ever happened to me. They're heavy on your heart. You have to take them off one by one. You have to accept it. You have to come to acceptance by living these things. One more time, though, I promise. Or you can spend the rest of your time running from them. You can finally face them one at a time, one more time, or spend the rest of your time running from them. My mom was an addict till the day she died. She just wanted to she wanted to not think. She didn't want to remember her life. She was filled with so much shame. You know what I mean? She had 6 kids that she had totally fucked off. She had no love. She was, you know what I mean? She never actually owned anything. She never did anything. She came to a place where, you know, her life added up to nothing. She had a lot of fucking shame. And she just wanted to put that shame to rest so she could turn up the music and have a drink. And that would lead to, you know, partying with young people. And then before you know it, she'd get so blown out of her mind. She'd wake up tomorrow, on a Saturday, she'd wake up the same, you know what I mean? Those same feelings. She would work all through the week and go to college all through the week. She'd work during the day and work at night to keep her mind busy, to make herself part of the world. But when she was alone, that's all she knew how to do. She couldn't be alone with her thoughts. She couldn't be alone with her feelings. She couldn't be alone with her memories. That's what it is. Your thoughts are your memories, bro. You don't want to sit around with your feelings and your memories. And it's a hard thing to do. At the beginning of the dark night of the soul, that's all God would make me do. I just didn't have the physical strength to actually get up. I'd lay in bed and just cry and cry, one memory at a time. It was harsh. I didn't have them. I repressed all my life. So as it started to come up, it was just too much. And that's what makes me, you know what I mean, the Grand Master at this bullshit. But I also still have to continue to do it. I haven't gotten my life back. I haven't got all of my experiences back. I haven't got it all back. It triggers on times and stuff like that. And it's what I specialize, but it's especially for you. It's the human, it's the ascension path. The way to light is through the dark. You've got to take off this dark experience, but the only way to take it off is to put it on. And that's called shadow work, where you face your shadow and you integrate it by literally putting it on. If not, you're literally going to keep putting it on anyways. You know what I mean? You're still going to keep putting it on unconsciously. It's going to, you know what I mean? The shadow takes over and it makes you, you know what I mean? Those are your coping mechanisms, your mood stabilizers, as they call it. If this sounds like the kind of steps you've been taking to desist from fessing up, you could quite possibly be in denial. Here are some of the signs. Avoiding talking about the issue, projecting your bad behavior onto others, promising you're in control to ward off the concerns of other people. You won't admit there is a problem. You take addictive substances to shut out your feelings. You blame others for your problems. You ignore the advice of or concern for loved ones. You start to lie to cover up, even if they start as little white lies. If you feel you're avoiding an issue and can't admit the truth of the matter to yourself or to others, let's have a look at why that could be. At this moment, I saw Wolfman. I came at him so harshly within the first couple of messages, and I'm like, you're a whole fucking Knight of Wands. You're covered in shadows. You need to clean yourself up. He was so offended and like, fuck you. And then he just showed it. He just kept fucking all these girls and taking them on little rendezvous and blah, blah, blah. I was like, I told you, I didn't even know you, bro. I didn't need to know you to know that you were suffering in this department of your life. But as knowing you, I started to realize that, you know what I mean? You are me, and this is what we do. You think it's power, but it's not. That's what I showed you through the Lilith. It's not. And that's one thing I haven't even began to even use like that. What is denial exactly, and why do we go there? Denial occurs when people don't wish to acknowledge the bad stuff, or not only to others, but also to themselves. This could include a debilitating illness, a violent or torrid relationship, a breakup, weight gain. I'm not fat. Sorry. A loss, rape, verbal abuse, or threats. Hey, there's one that popped in my head. What was his name? They'll never give me his name. But I didn't realize it was a total rape, bro. Because he was my friend. He got me high on drugs and took me to a hotel room. And I had images of what happened, but I never told anyone it was a rape. When I was questioned about it, they were like, "Did you sleep with her man?" And I mean, I had images in my head of what had happened, so I just said yes. I never said it was rape, but it was. Verbal abuse or threats. What is his name, bro? God protects his name. I'm gonna remember you, you son of a bitch. He died from AIDS later. He turned out gay again, too. He was having sex with the transvestites. I have a thing for gay guys, I guess. I didn't. His girl ended up being a lesbian, and that made me feel weird, too. It's a whole thing. God damn it. I don't want to talk about all of this. Really? Yeah. Really? Yeah. What was his name, bro? It's one of those fucking crazy-ass Mexican-ass names, bro, that they call him not Smokey... Not Grumpy. It was Grumpy. It was Grumpy, bro. It was Grumpy. Fuck. I was like, what was his fucking name, bro? Yup. And he had a love affair with this. We were in our 20s, and he had a love affair with this guy that was like 35 or something from jail. What was his name? Ooh. And meanwhile, his girlfriend, who was my best friend, is actually sleeping with a 35-year-old woman herself. There was what the fuck? Sorry. Really? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. People, bro. People. Okay, anyways, let's move past that. Verbal abuse or threats. You can deny a fact, deny responsibility, deny the impact of your actions, or deny what is really going on by hiding away your feelings. But why do this? Why do you do this? They gave me so many fucked up downloads right there. Oh man, they reminded me I slept with Freak Show. They reminded me of fucking cocaine use. They were just like, and you've done this, and you've done this, and you've done this, and don't forget you did this. Remember that guy? I did not remember that guy. I remember being on top of him. He's like, do you work out? What happened? Oh man, it was a one-night stand. I was living in Miami. He worked at one of the bars, one of the clubs. I remember him saying that. Do you work out? I actually was at that time. I had nothing else to do, so I was completely working out. That was a great answer. I have pictures of that time. That's when I met Pitbull. Oh god, I got stories for days. Did you do all that? I did more. Let me find out what else I was up to. I'll tell you all about it. Sorry. Are you ashamed? Are you ashamed? No. Only when you look at me. When you go into denial, so do you avoid embarrassment to save face and pretend that everything is just fine. The word fine means in good health. However, it often is misused and uttered to conceal true feelings. F means fucked up. I means insecure. N means neurotic. E means emotional. Yeah, you're fucked up. Fuck it up, fuck it up. Nobody wants to admit they can't cope, so it is an attempt to keep it together. You try to adjust to the dark night of the soul by neglecting the real impact it has on you. But by doing so, you will find yourself drawn into a river of contradiction called denial. When you use denial to defend yourself... Ew. Speaking of the word denial, that's my daughter back there. She is like, no, that's not... No, they made me. No, no, no. She is never, ever, no... I mean, maybe cryingly. Not really. She doesn't take accountability for any of her actions. She feels like they're all provoked and they had it coming.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Naughty.
Just say it wasn't... I didn't say that. Say it wasn't you. That's the answer. Say it. It wasn't me.
It is me, is it? Right?
It was Mary Jane. It was CJ. It was me. It was my fault. I did it.
He's mentally unstable.
There we go. Moving on. Okay. Anyways. When you use denial to defend yourself or as a coping mechanism, you are contradicting the reality of the situation. You might deny the reality of your emotions because accepting a reality that is uncomfortable, painful, or incongruous, I don't know, to what you expect means you must also alter your perception of yourself. And those are those moments. Do you see yourself? You're acting crazy. No, I'm not. You're acting crazy. No, you're acting crazy. I'm not acting crazy! Go ahead, crazy. Go crazy. Go crazy. Then I'm going to get beat down and, like, I'm going to get murdered, you know, egging you on. I got to go back to, I believe, I don't really fully, but I believe a lot of my domestic violence was provoked. Seeing how as I talk to people now, I could see why a motherfucker would want to hit me. I could see it. I get tired of your shit, and then I start talking hella shit, and you just gotta swing on a bitch, and I'm on the floor like, oh, why'd he leave me? Could have happened. I'm not really sure. Whatever. I just know that I could make you want to hit me. What is that? The colleague? The instigator? Oh, very crony. Alright, denial helps to... It's like Big Mama. You sit at the table. We're not playing around with you. Come here. You fucking that dirty girl over there? Don't tell me you isn't fucking that dirty girl. I saw you with your tongue all in her mouth. You fucking that dirty girl. You know she a dirty, dirty girl. I ain't fucking her mom. God told me. They talk at the church, you know. We heard everything at the church. I'm annoying, aren't I? I'm a whole fun pack. Anyways, denial helps you to ignore the truth about how you feel and prevents you from having to deal with it. Bobby, you love me. That's so painful for you. What are you going to do with that? That's so painful. Ah, that's so painful. I know. I had to accept it. Acceptance is key. Accept you have a problem. And then try to figure out what the problem is. Is it a problem that you love me? Rusk, is it a problem? Does it cause a problem in your relationship? No, it's no problem. She knows you love me. I love you. You guys, you know, have your fake love and we have real love. No problem over here. Moving on. Anyways, Mama Bridge has the final... Where did we go to Mama Bridge? How did we get there? Oh. We jump pages. We jump timelines. As the goddess of death, Hel can be compared to the Haitian queen of the cemetery. And that's who I currently look like, and I had pulled... Ooh, Pytha. Ooh, Pytha. There's a good one. Where's that card? There we go. I put my hat down, but I could put my hat back on if you want me to. And then we pulled the Yazurli. I had the hat and the makeup to match. And so I was like, oh, this is where we're at. A very powerful dark goddess in voodoo. She guards over cemeteries as a figure representing the first... Yeah, this is totally repeated. Similar, Santa Muerte, Saint Death, is depicted as a frightful hooded skeleton holding a synth, whatever, in one hand and a globe in the other. The deadly Mexican saint, Viva la Mexico! Truly is a perfection or a personification of death itself, much like Hel. Well, you're nothing like me. I'm the original. carbon copies. I mean, it is me, and me, and darkness is me. Her lesson, nope, move on. Also offers protection, safe passage to the afterlife, and all those who honor her. For death goddesses often looked upon as being maternal and almost loving in times of sorrow and loss. I mean, what do you think they feel like when they realize they just died? All the souls are in shock. I mean, they're not always so willing. Okay, and that's what I try to explain. Some of them are like, all right, they take their last breath. They're like, okay. But some of them, they're just like, what am I doing here? You died. What? I had so much I wanted to do. What about my family? What about my job? What about this? What about... No, that doesn't matter. You're dead. That's dead. Let's talk about your new life. What? Okay, maybe you need to sit down with this. Maybe this isn't the time to talk about a new life. You're not ready. Let's go sit over in Helheim. And, you know, you can sit with all those feelings and judgment about the life you just lost. How many times have you died? You guys have not even died once. I am a master at death. That's what I'm going to share in my in my short tonight. Make sure you catch my short. How many times have you died? I had to die a lot of times to be here with you today. If I did it right, I wouldn't be here today. I mean, I did, but I still had leftover pieces, my dark pieces. I left my dark pieces in hell on earth. I had to come back and get them. Thank you very much. Anyways, her lesson is one of duality, the bittersweet combination of pain and love, coexisting as she offers compassion and understanding while she snatches you from a loved one or something you hold dear. The death of all things. Reason to work with her. Coming out of a place of denial and isolation. Suppressing intense emotions can be dangerous, especially if you have hardwired emotions to help you survive. If this sounds like the kind of steps you've been taking to desist from fessing up, you could quite possibly be in denial. We read about that. Rewind. Going on. Princess Diana. No, we're not talking about Diana. What do you want to disguise? What are we talking about? Why did we get to Diana? Oh, hiding behind the mask. Alright, let's see. Secrets are mysteries, intrigues, and attractive to the seeker. People always want what they can't have. But to the keeper, the forbidden information is often too dark to share and could cause harm if you were. None of us are strangers to secrets. We held on to them in childhood and shared them with our best friends. I'm like, I have no secrets now. Back then, secrets were fun, especially when it came to keeping a diary, blah, blah, blah. Have you tried to keep a secret in the past? It's hard, isn't it? So you know the effort that goes into hiding something. What was the reason for keeping your secret? Was it so that another couldn't be part of something you wanted for yourself? Or was it something you felt ashamed of? Something you didn't want anyone to discover for fear or of being found out? How would you feel if someone kept something hidden from you? If you were told to keep away from something that isn't out of bounds, do you adhere to the rules? Would you understand what a secret was being kept hidden for a reason? Whenever anything is hidden, kept secret, or lied about, is keeping another from the truth. Hell will shed light on that which is hidden and reveal the truth so you can live the life you came here to live. What's the point in living a lie and settling for a life that is only second best to what you could have had, and living in the illusion of the ease and comfort? Many people do this for years, believing that they're happy without realizing that beyond the rainbow exists the true potential. I see Russ. I see a lot of them. They didn't even realize they were unhappy. They didn't even realize they were asleep. I didn't either. You didn't even realize you weren't happy. You just were existing. And then you looked at everyone else and they appear to be so happy. Which is fake, of course. Nordic shamans called upon Hel as the protector and guide to watch over them as they journeyed into the realm of death, seeking experiences of the great unknown in order to find themselves. And that's it too, going back to, Wolfman. Why the fuck are you talking to Lucifer? He doesn't know, you know what I mean? The shamans knew who to deal with, which was the divine goddess, of course, the divine feminine. Or if not, you would deal with, Azrael, one of, Anubis, somebody that walks into the other realms. And in essence, Hell rolled up. Oh, duh. You wanted to go into that. Now, going back to it, I taught yesterday the herbs. We used all the herbs for the shamans, the druids. so that we could do this. What is this? This is the time of hell. This is the time of death, where the other worlds are right here, overlaps, where the veil is cleanest, where you can see the spirits, that resting place, Dia de los Muertes, where the bridge is the bridge. You can cross the bridge and be one with the spirits again. That's why we dress up in honor of the spirits. The dark and the light. You dress up as angels, you dress up as witches, you dress up as goblins, you dress up as the other realms, the fairy tales, all the things. Or you could dress up as Carol Baskin. I thought about that as I was walking up to the fucking gas station. I was like, remember that was a total fucking gig? It was like Carol Baskin was a total fucking costume. And so was, you know what I mean? The Tiger King. These were real ass people, bro. Weird ass people. That guy had 3 lovers and he did meth and he was running against President Trump during fucking COVID. This was real times, bro. People, you cannot take away this weird man's legacy. He may be in jail for the rest of his life, but you cannot take away his costume, the skin he wore. What a weirdo. And he had lions and tigers and bears. Oh my God. He lives in Oklahoma. What the fuck is this? He lived dude, this fucking guy, we needed that story. That was the best fucking story. You ever watched that story? It was a crazy fucking story about a guy that just lived his life. That was a good one. He's not going to heaven. Come on. But does he not get honored for the life he did live? Get this guy a drink, bro. Get this guy a drink. Tell us all about your life, bro. Tell me more. Tell me what wasn't on the screen. That's me, bro. In real life, I am literally surrounded by killers and drug dealers and fucking rapists and people that beat their children and sex workers and embezzlers and fucking they're all over me. They're all over me. You want to meet my neighbors? Come and meet my neighbors. For those that don't know, I live in a family homeless shelter ran by the Salvation Army, so that would describe my wonderful neighborhood. I am the Goddess of Hell. You are in hell, which is your denial. I told you how to get out of this. You want to be a high vibrational being, face your shit. You're not high vibrational. You are so low. You are so low vibing. Come here, watch. Let me push your buttons. Let me run after I do it, because you're gonna get real ugly. It's like I gotta shoot my arrow and run very fast away. This thing's gonna explode. Oh God, that's so dangerous, right? I'm just doing it to heal you. Other people are doing it to hurt you. Alright, quit sweeping your shit under the fucking rug. Hell appears to those that are destined to die, to those who are joined to her in the icy realm of Helheim, and to those who are to experience a death of the old and an ending of sorts. You're not gonna die. I mean, we're all gonna die. Are you afraid of how you die? We just die, bro. Jesus, I'm here for 55 more years. Jesus Christ. At least I know how I die. And I know when I die, but it doesn't make it any better. I mean, it's like, no matter what tomorrow brings, I don't die tomorrow. I will have to live through tomorrow and every day until that day. It doesn't matter. We all die, bro. We all die. The body ceased to contain the spirit. And then we move on. And you get a new life! Where are you going? I don't know. I'm going up to the stars. I'm going to rest in the sky and the stars and be one in the stars. They're trying to tell me to take form again. I don't want to. Stop trying to stick me in a box called a body. Preparing for hell. Hell appears to those, are you ready to purposely seek out the death of all that you've been denying? Hell will willingly greet those souls that wish to face up to the truth no matter what. Will uncover all insecurities, fears, and worries. As I'm seeing this, I'm seeing all of these celebrities that got to their older age. I'm seeing all these celebrities did these memoirs and these tell-alls, and they're telling all their secrets. Why? Because they can't take them to the grave. They have to tell their stories, what people didn't know they went through. They want you to know what they actually went through. If you don't, you're going to end up part of this 27 club, as I'm seeing there looking at, I'm looking at, Robin Williams. He didn't tell anybody what he went through. What does that mean? We'll have to discover it on our own if there's any trace of it, but he hid it well. But as you see, he went through all kinds of hell to bring all kinds of light. There's one coming out about, Michael Jackson. Hopefully they depict it well and they don't just try to tell a narrative of a story. And that's where it's careful. You got to be careful as a reporter. You're in charge of telling the story, and you decide what the story is. And you can really fuck up a person's life by telling the wrong story, focusing on the wrong details of what their life was about. Realistically. But that's really what it is we're all cleaning out our closets. Because we can't take this shit to the next world. It's holding us down as we sit in our quiet spaces. The older you get, the more you sit with it. You don't even have the ability to run away from it. You know what I mean? You're retired with it. Just you and your baggage and your feelings and your memories until they cease to exist. Mr. Plum spends hours talk about meditation, bro. He spends all day, hours upon hours, just sitting and staring into the abyss. He'll go out a couple times if he has something to do, but he'll do it in the house. He'll sit and he says, he stares through the TV. Then he'll fall asleep and he says the TV was watching him nap. And then he'll go outside and he'll fall asleep on the swing outside. He'll just stare, just like us. We'll just stare. What do you think we're staring at? It's called scrying. He's staring into his life. He's staring into time. He does it all day, all by himself. He's not a Buddhist, but he sits there in the spirit of all things, memories, and you know what I mean, until they cease to exist. But for right now, just like a child, he could sit there in his mind all day. He doesn't need to go outside, and there's really nothing for him to do. He takes his little trips to Walmart and shit like that. He's not a poor man, but he just doesn't have anything to do. So he sits and he meditates. He doesn't know it's meditating, but he just drifts into his mind all day. Really? He'll putter around the house and stuff. He doesn't look for things to keep himself busy or anything like that. He just occupies his time like that. He wakes up at like 4 o'clock in the morning because he used to always wake up early to get ready for work. And he'll sit in the quiet space. He'll turn on the TV just to have some noise. He does puzzles, word puzzles to keep his mind sharp, stuff like that. He'll do, he doesn't occupy his time. He'll just sit there, staring out the window. What do you think old people are doing? And I'm seeing Bella. Remember when Edward left Bella and she sat there for 6 months staring out the fucking window? That's called soul searching like a motherfucker, you guys. You're going through every possibility. Your brain is processing every feeling, every memory, everything that ever happened. That was the death, bro. He walked out and she had to let him die, and it killed her. I've done that a few times, you bastard. That's what that is. You guys don't have that. You don't sit there and do that soul searching. Really? Yeah. You may have subconsciously called hell on a soul level. It means your soul said, alright, it's time. And that's what happened to my soul. My soul woke me up, bro. It's time. As I started taking the right actions, that's what it was. I made a video of it that day when the huge awakening started. I said I watched my heart have a conversation with a white entity, which later I knew was Gabriel. I said, where have you been? I'm ready. That means it was time. Let's get this started. Start pushing shit at her. Start waking her up. Start pulling things apart. Start challenging her. Get her through the initiations. Get her through the rites. Wake her up. That's what this whole book is about. Your soul is doing this for you. You have a soul, and your mind doesn't understand it. It's your heart. Your heart is calling things in for you and calling you to wake the fuck up and take charge of your life, to live your life. You're not living it. You're literally, they could say soulless, but you're not. You have a higher self that's always there in your quiet spaces. It's just you're not spending time with your soul, which is just your heart, the soul of all things. The more you spend with yourself, the closer you get to yourself, the closer you get to God in all things. Really? It's not outside. You don't get close to God and people by hanging out with people in the church. You get close to God inside. You get closer to having relationships with people inside. Not going out and, you know what I mean, trying to, but you have a better relationship with people inside so you can have better relationships with people outside. You harness God inside so he's always there with you when you go outside. Stuff like that. Anyways, this is where you could have called her in. For the truth to be revealed. I just want to know the truth. That's always what I call in. To be discovered. To clean up your act. To be honest with everyone. To be your authentic self. For a hunger of spiritual truth. You may have unwittingly called her in when she heard you express fears about going to hell. Fearing death itself. Crying out for death. Retreating from the world. Denying the truth. Running away to hide. You fear the truth, pointing your fingers at other people and blaming them for your situation, harboring secrets, deceiving others, sitting alone amongst gravestones, being someone you're not, covering up your tracks, telling deliberate, bare-faced lies, hiding the real you behind glamour, going hungry, refusing to believe in the afterlife, honoring and connecting with the deceased. Right there. Refusing to believe in the afterlife is going to call a near-death experience on your ass. You don't believe? We'll make you a believer. God will make you a believer. I'm just saying. Honoring and connecting with the deceased. Naming your household furniture. I don't know who does that. I know guys may name their cars and shit, but who does that on page 133? I guess. Do you have a name for your coffee pot or something? Turn to hell when you wish to face the truth, to own up, to admit to your addictions and clean up your act on all levels. Hey, bro, if you're struggling with an addiction, you're not alone. And to admit it is going to add so much pride and respect and support on your behalf. You're not telling us something we don't know, bro. We know you're on dope. But when you say, hey, I've realized that I needed to get some help. Well, God damn it, they really are doing it. I mean, we're behind you. It's not like we were standing in front of you, but we're waiting for you to stand up and admit it. You know what I mean? That's what that is. You know what I mean? Like, if you're ready to admit that I've been drinking since I was like 12 years old and I think I need to stop. Yeah, that might be a good idea. I support you in that decision. How can I help you? In the essence of, oh, let's go to the bar on Friday. No, I'm not drinking with you. I know what happens every time you fucking drink. You know what I mean? That's just it. It's not like, if you're ready to admit that you have an addiction and clean up your act on all levels, you know, then that's time. I'm seeing my mom, bro. Fuck, that was ugly. What happened? She came from Colorado to California. After my ex-husband had stolen my daughter, he was the breadwinner. He worked the job, everything. I just had my son. Everything was falling apart. She had been in the hospital or, you know, fighting her cancer. So she had been stacking up checks. She was on disability, and she had been stacking up her checks. So when I called her, she was able to help me. But going forward, she decided, you know, I had just lost everything. So she made this conscious decision to come and move out with me, you know, come live with me during this time. So I could get, you know what I mean? I was really struggling. I had no money, a brand new baby. Everything had just completely fallen apart on me. So she comes out. During that time, I'm not sure where the gap is, but I remember the room. She decides she's going to kick opiates, bro. So she came with a huge opiate addiction, and I imagine what happened, bro, is when she got to California, she couldn't get them. She did later. Let's just say that. But she kicked it, and I watched her. It was the worst thing ever I've ever seen somebody do, dude. I watched her in that room, bro. She asked me to put the mattress on the bed, or on the floor for her. And I watched her roll around and sweat and cry and run to the bathroom. It was something just like Basketball Diaries. It's a terrible movie. That'll shock the shit out of you. It was just like that. And I watched her do this. I was, you know what I mean, my daughter was just born. Or my son was just born. So, I mean, it was like 13 years ago. She had moved to my house and I watched her do it. After that, she was, you know, I watched her. I can't remember how long, but I have these memories of watching her roll around on the ground and how gross it was to watch. I remember this feeling of just walking through the hall and seeing her in that room like that. As much as she kicked it, bro, again, she still had health issues, so she learned these, you know what I mean? She She was just an opiate addicted type person, bro. And she had real health issues. She had overworked her body doing all this kind of shit so she could get pills. All kinds. And then as her health, deteriorated, they gave her more. It's like, you know what I mean? The cure for her pain was more pills. She was never going to get out of this. Never, bro. So, you know what I mean? Even though she kicked it and I watched her, they put her back on it. You know what I mean? She didn't become a dope fiend on it, but she still, later, you know what I mean? I had to keep her pills, and I had my ex-husband come back into the home, and I'm hiding the pills, and both of them are taking the pills, and I don't know who's taking whose pills, but both of them are taking the pills, and I can't find a place to hide them, and both of them won't tell me who's doing it. They know who's doing it. One or the other knows who's stealing these pills, bro. I have to give her pills every day, and then he takes psych pills. So he takes Xanaxes and shit like that. But she takes Percocets and Oxys. And there's too much in this house to get high on, bro. And I'm trying to keep them away, and every time I go to take them, I'm realizing they're taking these pills. And I don't know who's high on pills, and it was, oh, God. I remember that. And then, like, I remember catching her, like, I found a pudding in her, I used to wash her clothes and put them away for her and shit like that. And I found a pudding hidden in her underwear drawer. And I'm like, Mom, she was famous for this. Every kid knows it. I could call my oldest kid. She would always hide snacks around her bed and shit, like Twinkies and fucking Little Debbies and all this shit. I'm like, Mom, are you hiding fucking snacks in your underwear drawer? She's like, no, that wasn't me. Who put a fucking pudding in your underwear drawer? I'm just saying, dude. Seriously, yeah, just drug behavior. She didn't want to admit that she was high, and she fucking totally put some fucking, she can't find her pudding, and she left it in her underwear because she probably pissed herself because her bag leaked, and she couldn't find her pudding in the middle of it. I mean, just weird shit. I'm just saying. Ah, God. You can see why I don't want to deal with addicts, because it's all, but it's part of my life. I grew up around them. I just tried to run away from them. Yeah, I got him for you. I know, I got him for you. Anyways, to face the fear of death and the endings such as relationships. That's another thing too. Like, I can remember like praying to God to just get out, I remember praying to my mom. I was like, Mom, help me get out of here. Yep. She came to his mother-in-law. I was praying to my mom. It really happened. I left my house. I left everything. It was my first real tower. I left everything to go live with my ex-husband. After all this, yes. Kept going back, bro. Idiot. To go live with him in Pennsylvania. I won a huge trip to Lollapalooza when Eminem was performing. Did all of this shit. I get out there and it's a fucking hellhole. And I'm so upset with myself. I've left my house. I've lost everything. And now I'm being tortured and I have no way out of this. I ended up praying. I used to sit on the edge of the bed crying to her, Mom, please help me, dude. Help me get out of this. Please, please, please. One day his mother came over and she told me she had a dream of her. My mom came to her in a dream. I don't dream, so naturally that would be the way. And she told her to tell me that I'm not alone. And that was all I needed to hear. Later, I ended up calling and getting myself into my first homeless shelter and getting out of there. It was actually a time I called my dad. How did I get out of there? My dad. He did one good thing for me in my whole life. I needed him most. He helped me get the rest of the money together to get out of there. I had a church that donated some money to help me get plane tickets, but not enough. So I went through a whole beatdown of my dad, and you're just like your mother, and blah, 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 blah. And he sent me the money, and I was able to get out of there. Didn't matter, bro. Like I said, I went through like a year of trying to get away from him. Got back to Colorado, and he was right here when I got here. It's like, oh, you're not running from me. Motherfucker. I'll set your ass on fire. And that's why I'm always looking over my shoulder. Nah, bro. No. I have protection orders. I have everything. It's like, dude, you have no idea. I've been running from that guy for like, 10 years. Finally, I just faced him. I didn't. And that's what I said. If my daughter wanted, you know what I mean? He was like, I'm going to be down there. He lived 3 hours away. He wanted to come and celebrate his 32nd birthday with his daddy. You know what I mean? And he wanted his kids there. You have nothing to do with your kids, and you're trying to fucking pin me in a situation. But, willingly, I said, if the kids want. And they didn't. And that was my freedom pass, bro. I was stuck with them as long as they wanted him. I had to do the right thing. Always did. No matter how much it, you know what I mean, hurt me.
When he did drugs in the bathroom on my birthday.
And that was the year before. He showed up around her birthday during my awakening. I was on top of a mountain with my kids, and he called. And said he wanted to see him. And we talked about it, and we're like this, that, and the other. We came down the mountain, and we met up with him, and because, you know, she wanted to go roller skating, so I took her to the roller skating rink, and I paid for all of them, and I left them for an hour so that he could have time with her on her birthday. She says she remembers him going in the bathroom and getting high the whole time. Great memories, right?
She was doing something. I hadn't seen him for a while. He was gone.
So, you know, there's a lot going on here. You need to face a lot of stuff. We face a lot of stuff around here. We try to. We try not to let it fester and hide. I don't know what's hidden until I become aware of it. And that's the thing about truth, is once you know the truth, you have to take action. Let's see. Honoring and connecting with hell. Visit a cemetery, offer a drop of your blood in return for the pain and fear. I did that earlier. Every time I poke, when I do one of those, and that's total voodoo teachings. Where's my bag? Every time I roll up one of those things, like I said yesterday, I was going to roll it up in a paper, I put pins in it. Where's the pins? Here they are. They're right here. Every time I do it, I roll them up, and I stick these pins in. Ooh, the wolf hair. It's real wolf hair. I swear I got it up in, somewhere. Anyways, and when I do it, I end up always poking myself. There's always a little blood sacrifice. So these I know for a fact these have blood on them. What happened last time, I can't believe it. Really? So I was sitting here, getting all my shit ready for the full moon of Aries. And I have this thing right here. And you've seen it in a lot of my videos. It's a piece of nothing. What is it? I don't know. I found it at a construction site and I kept it. I don't know. Something. Some kind of metal. And I use it to burn all kinds of shit. Right? I do all kinds of shit on here. You see it in Arizona videos. I keep it because you can't just light candles on anywhere. This is so I can light candles and stuff so it doesn't burn. So I use it all the time. Anyways, it's right here next to in my bag. For the full moon of Aries, I scraped my leg on it so bad that I have a scar now that runs right across my tattoo. I'm like, no fucking way did that happen. You want to see? I'll show you. It's terrible. Okay, good point. Let me hide my feet. That's weird. Fucking people. Look, there's my tattoo. You see this line? It fucking got me so bad. It was the biggest blood sacrifice I've ever had to do. Seriously, I was covered in blood. It was all over. I had it all over my hands, and then I was touching everything here at the altar. Yeah, it gave me a scar. It just happened. I was like, wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I got a scar from that. It was a serious blood sacrifice. You're like, it's still there by your leg? It never did it before, dude. I know it's covered in shit, but yeah, I never did it before. Really? Yeah, so that's also, you know what I mean? That's one of my ritual tools where I do all of my candle work and shit, and it's covered in my blood. It's the same thing as, I'm seeing that thing from, Constantine. They wanted the spear that had punctured Jesus because it was covered in his blood. So anyways, blood sacrifices. I usually don't have to make major ones like that, but that one cut straight through. Really? Yeah, should I have got stitches? Why did it cut so deep? It wasn't really. I took care of it. I kept it. It just made one hell of a scar. And I'll remember it. I know what that scar is, bro. That was a blood sacrifice for the full moon of Aries in 2025. I know exactly where the fuck that came from. I was just sitting here. Nobody hurt me. I was bleeding at the altar. Anyways, going back to it. Dress in black and white, indicating your look to her. Drink black tea and white coffee. What's white coffee? In honor of her. Is that like a cappuccino? Pour a glass of red wine in honor of the ancestral dead. And that's where it is I don't drink, but, you know, I'll take a sip and then we pour it into the ground. So I'll have to do that right now. I have one more can of that shit. Pay your respects to the dead. Plant white flowers or an apple tree. Offer support to the bereaved. Listen to Nordic folk music. Let apples rot. I don't have any right now. Sprinkle black rose petals on your bed before sleeping. Make an altar for her and place upon it rotting fruit, black roses, and a glass of apple cider. Is there any of that up there? But there usually is the apples just for Lilith, and that's what it is. Altar offerings could be white flowers, sprigs of evergreen, pictures of your ancestors, a black shroud or a veil. I have my veil. It's actually here. I'm going to wear it tomorrow. Really? Yeah. It's in my ritual bag. I mean, there's, again, I keep, this is like probably the most voodoo thing I do is I keep the pins. Came from Mr. Plum's. Where is my veil? It's in here probably underneath my, there's so much in here. There's the tea bags. I know the veil is in here. I know it's in here. How do you know? Because I know. I know. What's in there? I don't know. Stranger Things fucking tarot cards. My ritual bags. It's in here. I know because I have to wear it tomorrow. I just haven't dug it out yet. Is that it? Nope. That's stuff for the animals. Are you serious? Yeah, bro. If I ever have to come with a bunch of shit, I come with a bunch of shit. I don't know where it is. I'll find it. I promise you I'll be wearing it tomorrow. I don't know if I'll be wearing my cloak. Probably. It's nice and warm. Anyways, what else? Black and white frame picture of hell. Black crystals such as obsidian, jet, or onyx. And Hagalaz runes. Invocation. We're not calling her in. She's already here. Let's see. You will know that hell was... she's around... Excuse me. You'll know she's around hell will leave you clues about her presence. You'll experience feelings of isolation and loneliness. You are cold and just can't seem to warm up. Situations seem black and white to you. You have been told to go to hell. Dogs bark at you. Fruit keeps rotting. You don't believe what others are saying. You can't take compliments. You feel drawn to the dark arts. You can't bear anyone looking at you. You've become withdrawn. You connect with the afterlife. Death seems attractive. You experience denial and isolation at this stage of the dark night of the soul. All right. This goes on and on and on and on and on. Reflections on facing the truth. Have you actually fessed up to your situation? Have you admitted the truth of what's going on to yourself, or do you wish it all would go away? What is it that you're struggling with and why? Write down in your journal all the reasons why you are struggling right now. What strategic distraction have you put in place to avoid dealing with the testing times? Oh, I see you, Bobby. You blocked me. I'm not going to deal with you. I'm just going to block you and act like you don't exist. That's nice. How's that working for you? Reflection to reveal which is hidden. Do you have a secret that you wish to remain hidden? Perhaps there's a truth that you dare not share with others. Are there skeletons in your closet that would be revealed if you were, and what would be revealed if you were found out? Ooh. Step out. Removing your mask. Imagine taking a path that leads you down to an entrance of an ancient tunnel. It is dark, but you are aware that you must show no fear, so you walk boldly but carefully until you reach the entrance. This is a whole visualization. We're not going to do that. Lessons from hell. Death is a very important part of the cycle of life. It is a necessity as it makes room for the new. Just as a rotting animal's carcass provides the earth with nutrients and forest fires clear out dead wood to enrich the soil, death always has its presence, has to present itself first, no matter in which form, before the beauty of the renewal of life can be embraced. I see this. I see what Bobby said. He's like, why does somebody have to give up their life for you to feel loved? You have to give up your life to feel loved, as I did too. There's no love in your life. It's filled with great stuff, but no love. None of it brings you joy or happiness. It's a small price to pay for joy and happiness. Give it back and you'll get what you really wanted out of life. Sacrifice equals rewards. Give it to the gods as an offering. Give it to the people that are less fortunate. Give, and so shall you receive. I gave up what I thought was a great life to have a really great life. Now, again, I live in what you think is hell. We all live in hell. We all live in hell. I live in the lowest part of hell, because that's where I am, and I rise through all levels of hell. I can come up to your high towers up there, but I assure you, you're suffering up here and being judged by the mighty Lord as well. You are not in heaven, my dear. You have a different type of suffering than those down here, right? Right. Moving on. Let's see. However, hell cannot expose you unless you acknowledge that something is wrong. Refusing to admit something is wrong is often a coping mechanism when you are faced with emotional conflict. It is much easier, as I'm saying this, my heart chakra is burning. My chest, I have chest pains. It's much easier to reject the reality of painful facts and engage in the distraction strategies instead. As the darkness beckons, you will retreat deeper and deeper within. Another dark goddess, more fearsome, the last one, waits for you to sink fully into the abyss. It's time for the encounter with the truly terrifying Sheila Nagig, who's wanting to free you from your despair, to steal you from all hope. Sheila Nagig is what? The first card I pulled on the top. Initiation of dispersion. It's all about your sexuality. Welcome. Scorpio season, and this, of course, the highest tide, is all about death, sex, alchemy, rebirth, transformation, the dark arts, sorcery, secrecy. Oh, you little secret motherfucker, you. Anyways, you could say it's a person, but it's just an energy that we all carry. Some of those people might have a little bit more secrets than the rest, which makes me scared, you know what I mean? Because he shares the same birthday as my daughter, so I'm like, are you a deviant like this guy? Are you a bad guy? And then I can look at it and say, nah, he's probably, because, you know, they carry the same soft qualities. Mary Jane's a really good girl, but she has to have fire in her. She's made of me and her father. We're both Sagittariuses. She's got to be made of the fire. Realistically, guaranteed. I know she has it in her. But she doesn't act on it. Aaron does. He's an Aries. He totally blows fire out his ass. He's always on an adventure. The fuck are you doing, Aaron? I purposely named my son Aaron after Moses' brother. Aaron Angel. Mary Jane was always going to be Mary Jane because of my family. She's a fourth generation in my family. My grandmother was Mary Jane Kane. My mother was Susan Jane. His mother's name was Maricela, which is Mary Sella, right? So we kept all the family. She got both of her grandmother's names and kept all the tradition by being called Mary Jane. What'd you give her as a middle name? Oh, man, she hates it. It was really pretty in Spanish. What is it? Felicia? What is it in English? Felicia? She's got two fucked up ass names. Felicia or Mary Jane. That's just it. So, you know, I love my children. And I've got my Christian, and I got Amelia. I named Amelia. I was watching the movie. I kept looking for names. I didn't know. Hey, dude, it was a call from a church. Williams Memorial. They were trying to reach a lady named Pam. It was a church call. Hey, it's a little late to be calling people from the church. Really? Yeah. It's a call from God. She said, oh, I dialed the wrong number. I said, you sure did. What's the name of your church? I'll pray for you. She said, Williams Memorial. I got a call from church, bro. I told you, nobody has my number. Only godly people. Really? That was trippy, wasn't it? It was from a church. It wasn't even a random person. It was a woman, a member of the church. She said, I'm trying to reach a member of our church named Pam. I'm not part of it. I can join. You're calling your church. It was like those moments where the Chinese people, the Chinese restaurant calls the Chinese restaurant and they're trying to order. I'll pray for you. You pray for me. Who are we praying for? Where's Pam? Is she okay? I was worried. Thought it had something to do with Mr. Palm. Really? Yeah. They were supposed to contact me if anything happens to Mr. Plum. Anyways, let's go on to this. Well, we didn't go into Sheila and a gig, but we are. We closed the chapter on that. That was crazy, right? I got a call from God's Church. Williams Memorial. Williams, can you look it up?
No.
Damn it. I wonder what kind of church it was. It's kind of late for them. It's like an hour ahead. So if it's 7 here, it's 8 there. I hope everything's okay. I'm so caring. I'm that bitch, dude. I'm that Cat Williams joke. Call me at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'll help you find them. No, but let's figure this out together. She doesn't know she called a witch. In the middle of the hell teaching. God has jokes, bro. God, you just called the Goddess of Hell. How may I help you?
North Carolina.
No, she was from Oklahoma.
That church is in North Carolina.
No, it's in Oklahoma. Put in Oklahoma. Put Williams Memorial Oklahoma Church. There was something else. There was the third word she said. What was the third word? Damn, my memory is useless. That's why I can't take a job with playing memory games. Anyways, did you guys have fun?
They don't show anything.
Nothing? They don't have online. I bet they have a Facebook presence. That's how they do everything down there. Damn, that was weird, dude. Seriously? Maybe I'll call her back tomorrow. Maybe I'll search the phone number. I'm very much a stalker like that. Dude, we got a call from a church. That was crazy. God was calling us. God's messenger was calling us. I didn't ask her name. How weird. She called the Goddess of Hell. That's so funny.
Yeah, the one is North Carolina.
It's in North Carolina. That was not a North Carolina call. I don't know. Anyways, hey, God's out there.
Your phone number.
Maybe. Hey, I love you guys. I know, right? Where'd you get my number? That's crazy to me. Everything. I wish you guys a good night, and yeah, it's about facing the truth. You already know your shadow work, so now tomorrow's the tower. Are you going to speak your truth? Are you going to take action? Are you going to stand up for yourself? Are you going to, you know what I mean? Break down this little fake matrix called your happy fucking life and be honest and go after a new life? I'm seeing the Kanye moment. Are you ready to have a Kanye moment? I woke up in Kanye's body. It's going to be a Freaky Friday. Hey, take the mask off. Be yourself. That's the greatest thing you can be tomorrow. Love yous. Laters. Bye.